Brodes Media.
Let's focus on some positivity. Let's give the teams that are winning some appreciation. And that's what I'm here to do, okay? Because that win against Minnesota, Tyrese Maxey giving you 35 against that team. McDaniel, my ass! Okay, McDaniels, my ass! Here's Embiid, 51, working the mid-range jumper. Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns, both hands up, crying to the refs. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. You're damn right you didn't do anything, because Embiid got 51. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. You don't have any answers. Nobody has any answers. Joel Embiid improved. Joel Embiid won an MVP, and he got so much better. I think this stops the whole narrative, and there are some Joel Embiid haters still left because, well, they can't get over the hump, and they can't get to that Eastern Conference Finals. But, and I've said some angry things after Game 6, after Game 7, and I don't want to relive those moments after Boston. What we do need to appreciate right now in the moment, though, is this. You can't question if Joel Embiid wants it. Coming up small, not executing, having tough moments, failing in the playoffs. Sometimes there's a lot of context to what happened. He wants it. He may fail, but this guy wants it. And how much more can you ask of a guy except for giving us everything in the world that you possibly can and then some? And I'll live with the results, right? We've seen athletes where maybe they don't maximize their potential. They think their shit doesn't stink, so they can just roll out whatever sport it is and just play, and they do really well. But there's still some left in the tank that maybe could even put them overboard if they just reached deep and wanted it more. They practice harder. Their working habits were more detailed. Whatever it is, man, Joel Embiid, he is giving you everything in Joel Embiid's body, and it is magnificent. We could be watching the best Sixer of all time, and that's no disrespect to any Sixer that's ever put on the uniform that meant a lot to this fan base, because, well, there are a lot of individuals you could point to that were wow, and the fact that I believe Joel Embiid could be at the top of the list shows you what we're seeing. And they also learned over the last few games, even though the Chicago Bulls won, unfortunately it slipped, but they put teams away professionally. They look sound, okay? And Stephen A. Smith said it best. Everyone writes in Boston. Everyone writes in Milwaukee. Don't be sleeping on the Sixers. And that goes right into what my little banner or my border says here on the YouTube show. Uh-oh! We suck back in? Can Tyrese Maxey be the number 2 guy on a championship caliber team? And I think, why the hell not? This isn't a league anymore where with the Miami Heat in their prime, you needed a 3-headed monster. You can get away with 2 and depth. I believe that. And they have depth this year. I know they did this without Robert Covington and Batum, which makes it even that much more special. They barely got double digits from anybody. They did it. They did it. 2 guys. 2 guys scored in double figures, and the rest of the team was just there. And yeah, it opens up the 1,000th conversation of, well, who is Tobias Harris? He's not worth it. We knew it the day he signed, the day he got the deal, the day that we acquired him. And then it was like, okay, Jimmy Butler, Tobias is getting a hefty bag. We already understood. I've watched Tobias Harris long enough to know that there's disappointing games in the future here, and he's clearly overpaid. But in years past, it destroyed them with their depth. They have the depth this year, and here's my question. Whether it's fair or unfair, because, well, Daryl Morey had a lot of mess to clean up. Don't sleep on getting out of Al Horford. Don't sleep on trading Jason Richardson. Richardson. Yeah, I'm throwing it back. Josh Richardson. Okay, come on. I thought that maybe he could do more with the ball in his hands. You saw what he did in Miami. We got fooled. It sucked. He got creative, got rid of some stuff. Here's a Tobias Harris contract, though, and it is what it is. But Kelly Oubre, who was popping off before the accident happened and the incident and the injury, and if you're able to get production that's 20 points per game out of a contract like that, does it balance out? Now, in an ideal world, I would like to be more greedy. Okay, well, you could have Oubre and then you could break up the money Tobias is getting paid and have even more talent. You're right, but this is the hand we are dealt right now, and the MVP improved. Looks even more like an MVP. The guy's gross. Those dogs, man, his Euro step is 2,000 feet long because of his size, and he throws it down. Yo, Anthony Edwards, that's cute that you want to go up at the glass. That's cute that you want to challenge the big fella. You know what happens when you challenge the big fella? Bad things. It doesn't work out for you. Embiid ain't afraid. And that paint area, you could tell that players are so damn scared to drive. Of course they are. Who wouldn't be? Joel Embiid is a monster. And I won't lie to you. Over the Pistons and Charlotte, where they're scoring 140 plus points, it was background noise, and I appreciated it for what it was. And I didn't want to take it for granted, but they were just professionally putting away teams, and it was less about the scheduled loss stuff that we heard from Doc Rivers in the past, which is great. And, they're doing this Joel Embiid rest while just destroying opponents so much that by the third quarter, he's got 38. He's got 42. And then he's able to rest the entire fourth quarter and get some good rest. It's the classic load management, but you're doing it by design in a way that is so much more pleasurable. It's so much more enjoyable. It's actually a great time because I don't got to worry. I don't have to sweat it out, and you're pumping up these W's in just a way where it looks different. Context matters in these games. If the Eagles win out the rest of the way, they're 13-4. Do I think they're going to? No, but just hear me out for a second. 13-4, if I told you that was their record when the season ended, we'd say, oh my God, I'd sign up for that in a heartbeat. Let's go. Where do I put paper to pen? Obviously. But now that we have context, this is a disaster. Okay, this is an absolute blah. I can't stand it. And that blah was vomit, just projectile everywhere, all over the place in this studio. I got to get a deep clean. This thing needs to be scrubbed to its core. All right, so you need the context here. The way this Sixers team's playing and getting a lot of these W's in the regular season, albeit against a bad team, how they're doing it matters. In the two-man game between him and Maxey, I've never seen anything like it in my life.